Welcome to episode 13 of the Market Your Tradie Business podcast. In today's episode, we are talking about how you can use Instagram to attract and convert new clients. Welcome back, everybody. You know, when I first started this podcast back in May, I put out a question to the Builds by Captive Media audience on our Instagram page. And I asked, what questions about marketing can I answer for you on the podcast? And one of the questions that came up multiple times was about how to use Instagram to get new clients into your business. Now, a lot of tradie businesses are on Instagram and have an Instagram presence, but most that I talk to are not totally clear on how they can use it to actually generate leads or to get results for the business. And on top of this, there seems to be a lot of uncertainty about what kind of content to post to achieve this and how often should you post and when should you post. So today I'm doing a deeper dive into this question and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts around this. Before I share any strategies, I want you to ask yourself this question first. Is Instagram where your customers are hanging out? If they are spending time on the platform, then ask yourself whether they are typically going to be using the platform to actually connect with businesses like yours. Are they a person or are they a business? Like, do you operate mainly serving B2B or B2C? And if you look at all of the ways in which you actually get leads into your business currently, where do a majority of these come from? Is it coming from social media? Is it coming from word of mouth? Do you have a Google My Business presence that is your main lead generating tool? Maybe it's through some kind of other search engine, or maybe it's through affiliate suppliers in the industry that you work with. Wherever your customers come from, this should inform whether or not you think that it's likely that investing more time in Instagram is actually going to get you a return on investment. So as an example, if you're a builder or you're in the design field, it's more likely that your customers are going to be quite active on Instagram, as it's a popular platform for renovations and design inspo. People who are looking to renovate their home are more likely going to be spending time gathering inspiration and looking at builders' work on Instagram. But say, for example, you're an electrical company and you work with commercial builders mainly, then it may be more likely that your customers would be spending time on LinkedIn. If you're serving the business industry, more corporate companies, they do spend more time on LinkedIn when it comes to how they are going to find businesses like yours. So the point of this exercise is to choose a primary channel to focus your content around. And your primary channel may be Instagram, YouTube, maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's strictly email marketing or Google Ads, or it could be any of the other channels that exist. But even if your customers are mainly on LinkedIn, for example, you might still choose to have an Instagram presence, but it just might not be your primary growth tool. Once you've got a clear idea of whether Instagram is your primary platform as an online social presence, the next thing you need to think about and the next question to ask is, what do your potential customers need to hear and see from you in order to move them along in the journey of being a customer for you? And you might say, what do you mean? What's a customer journey? So if you think about it, with any business that sells any product, there is a journey from when your potential customers first hear about your business and to the next stage when they are starting to get to know, like, and trust you as a brand, through to the point where they're making a buying decision. Are they going to commit? Are they going to pull the trigger? Your goal with any type of marketing that you do is to meet your customers where they are in their journey with your business and move them to the point of buying or conversion as quickly as you can. You can see with just a little bit of a strategic approach to thinking about what you're posting, where you're posting, it's actually quite simple when you know how to structure it and what you need to be creating. So if you look at your Instagram content, how can you create content that firstly creates awareness for your brand, which is that stage 1. Secondly, helps your audience to get to know, like, and trust you, which is stage 2 in your customer journey. How can you build credibility, position yourself as an expert? And then stage 3 is content that helps your audience overcome objections when they're in that decision about whether or not they're actually going to buy from you. So if you think about these 3 stages as 3 points in the journey that your customer's going through, it enables you to think more strategically about what key messages your customers need to hear to move them along in the purchase. Now, this may all sound a bit complicated if you haven't, come across the concept of a customer journey before. So let me give you some examples to make it more relevant to tradie businesses. Pretend you're a residential builder wanting to attract new clients in your city that are interested in a whole house renovation. In stage 1 of that customer journey, you're wanting to create brand awareness for the people that haven't heard about you yet. So you might share photos or videos that tell your story about who you are and what problem you solve for people. And then moving into stage 2, where you're wanting to build that credibility and build that know, like, and trust factor with your business, you might create and share content that educates them on the process, makes them feel more informed, introduces you and the team, puts a face to the name, and it helps to position you as a specialist and an expert in what you do. And in stage 3, you want to convert your audience into paying customers. So you might share content that helps them overcome objections to buying. This might be something like a pricing video or an explanation of how contracts work, depending on what kind of tradie business you have. I hope that this helps you understand what you can be sharing on Instagram in order to increase your leads and conversions in your business. Other tips can include things like creating collaborative content. So if you've got suppliers that you work with regularly and you each feed into each other's customer sources, create content together that you both can share that encourages each other's audiences to learn about those new brands. Leverage those relationships that you've already got. You can also do things like using location-based hashtagging Brisbane builder or Melbourne electrician, because you may or may not be aware that Instagram is a search engine. So people go to Instagram in a similar way to how they go to Google to find suppliers and businesses that they want to work with. And what do they type in when they go and search? Brisbane builder, Melbourne electrician. That's what they're searching for, is the location and the type of trade that they're looking for. So if you use those hashtags regularly in the content that you share, it means that you're more likely to show up when people are doing a search on Instagram. This is a high-level overview of how you can use Instagram to grow your business. So these tips can be applied to other social media or marketing channels as well. But if you're feeling time poor and you want to get a done-for-you roadmap on how to market your tradie business, then I encourage you to sign up for the waitlist for our Market Your Tradie Business course that is coming out this year. We have seen so many tradie businesses struggle with knowing where to start with marketing and getting stuck in that cycle of marketing overwhelm, which is why that we've created this simple and effective training to give you a roadmap, a playbook to follow for your business. It's easy, it's simple, and it's relatable. It's broken down into short videos explaining the foundations that you need to know in a way that is relatable and clear. So you can watch the entire course in under 2 hours, which means that you can get clarity and a plan for how to market your business effectively, very quickly, and with very little effort. The course will be launched initially to all members on the waitlist at a lower price point. So you can get it first and at the cheapest cost that it will ever be by signing up through the link in the show notes to be placed onto the waitlist. So let's talk about your key takeaways from today's episode. And it's really to think about where your customers are coming from and which primary marketing channels make sense for your business. Don't spend time and money on Instagram if your customers aren't going to be finding you there. But if they are going to be, then follow our process to understand your customer journey and create content that is both relevant and interesting to your audience. Thanks so much for listening. If you liked what you've heard today, then you can download our free PDF, which has 16 content ideas for construction, through the link in the show notes. Don't get stuck wondering what to post again. So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to hit subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so that you don't miss an episode. And more importantly, share it with your tradie business mates, because this really makes a difference and enables us to help as many businesses as possible. Otherwise, here's to building trust and being remembered, and we'll catch you in the next episode.